debated on going to Dead Horse State Park in Utah, but we're so glad we did.
It's very nice.
And then our air conditioning that had just been fixed on our truck went kapooey. Let's go down that road. Hello, faithful people. I'm Orlene.
I'm Gary.
And this is Roads of Faith. We live full-time in our RV, and we've been trying to finish this video up for several days, but it seems like every time we start, a lawnmower starts up, or
People or animals.
Something is interfering that would make it hard for you to hear. So we are in the truck. We're in a safe, quiet, somewhat quiet place, and we're going to try and finish this up and tell you what happened. First of all, Dead Horse Point State Park is in Utah, and it's a lot of red rock, and we had already been seeing a lot of red rock. We were in Nevada, and then we went on Highway 128 along the Colorado River, a lot of red rock there. Then we went into Arches National Park, and that's a lot of red rock too. So we kind of thought, do we want to see any more red rock? It's worth it to go there and see more. It borders on Canyonlands National Park, which we did not go into. We didn't have time, but you've got to see this. This is great. Before we tell you what happened to the truck, it's quite the story. We are going to show you Dead Horse State Park. What are the names of them?
Monitor
Okay.
on the left and Merrimack on the right.
That's the name of the two buttes you're looking at right now across the way.
They are named after the Monitor and the Merrimack.
What's that mean?
They're two ironclad ships,
Ah, that's why they're called that, because they look like ships.
apparently.
Ah. This is at the Visitors Center at the Dead Horse State Park. Unlike the national parks, waiving their fees, they charged. We were hoping they wouldn't. And we couldn't get back out, so I guess we're here. 20 bucks. You think it's worth it? I think it's worth 20 bucks. Look at that! And we aren't even really hardly in the park yet. We're just at the visitor center. I don't know if you can tell what this is like. How deep it is. We're not sure what the water is over there. It looks like man-made. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
How much do you trust your sense of balance?
Oh my gosh. Whoa. It's not very good right now.
No, neither.
Oh, wow.
I definitely do not want to sit on the wall.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Is that the Colorado River, you think, off in the distance there?
Probably.
Didn't see anything that said. Oh! Hi, bird. Just came out of nowhere. Boy, here we go. Whoa. Ugh.
Pine rocks doesn't bother.
Oh my gosh.
I don't climb rocks.
And this is at the visitor center. There's more. These bright blues on the desert floor are solar evaporation ponds for a mine owned by Intrepid Potash Incorporated. Potash is a potassium chloride, a salt found in the Paradox Formation. Salt deposited from ancient seas made up this formation as it evaporated and was buried by other sediments. Water is pumped down into the formation to dissolve the salt. The salt water is then pumped into the shallow vinyl-lined ponds you see below. A blue dye is added to speed up evaporation. The dry desert air and many sunny days make this a productive operation. 20-ton scrapers, guided by lasers, harvest the dry salt. A local refinery transforms this concentrated form of potassium chloride into plant fertilizer. Railing or edges at this viewpoint, so I'm staying well back here. I'm not going to be going out there on the edge, especially that one. He looks like he could go down anytime. So as legend has it, they took some feral horses across this little thing here, this little narrow place that's barely wider than the road, and left the horses that were less desirable and gated it off and left them there to die. That's very sad. Just some rocks sitting on a rock. That almost looks like a doorway.
It does. We'd gotten our air conditioner repaired in Moab, and the guy didn't know for sure if he had it fixed really good, but he did recharge it, and we took off. And
it worked for 2 days.
Yeah, after 2 days, well, the rest of the story.
All right, so here's what happened. We had just finished going through the state park when every time Gary would start it up, because we'd pull over to take pictures or whatever and shut it off, and each time Gary started up the truck again, it would squeal.
And a kind of a, not a growling noise, but kind of a lower noise at first, and it would just go away, which is not a good sign.
The air conditioning was still working at this point. It was still cooling. So we got as far as Green River, Utah, not Wyoming. We got as far as Green River, Utah, and talked to a mechanic there. Just pulled in and we're talking to the mechanic. He actually remembered us. He remembered the call, and he remembered talking to Gary when we broke down with the RV in Arches National Park the first time. And it turns out he was the one that was going to tow us if we needed a tow truck. He's the one that told us, you really don't want me to come and tow your RV because it'll do more damage. And he's the one that told Gary how to reset the brakes on the RV so we could move.
And it worked.
And it worked.
If it didn't work, we would have been really in a mess.
Yeah. So praise God again. All right, so then he looked at the air conditioner on the truck and said, your compressor's going. Yay!
He said we could take our chances and head north towards Provo, Utah, but he didn't think it would burn out until we got there or beyond. We found out different.
Very shortly after.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't very long, and we were on the road. We were heading towards Provo, and it started making a hot metal smell. Not good. I should say that it wasn't that he wasn't willing to work on the truck, but he said it would take 2 to 3 days to get the parts, and then he'd have to work on it. So that's why he suggested that we go to Provo. We didn't get very far, and it started smelling really bad. And so we pulled over on a gravel pull over, and Gary checked it out. The compressor. He said the compressor was going to go, but if we don't have the air on, why is that affecting it?
It has to keep turning. So it's having it off because it's not kicking in, it's kicking out.
At that point, Gary's like,
we can't go any further. We were facing what they call Soldier Summit, I believe, and that was a long climb and would have probably burned out on our way up the incline. And so we turned around.
And Gary wanted to go back to Price, Utah, which we had just passed through not too long before, and actually turned out to be a bigger town than Green River, Utah. So that was an advantage as well. We went back, and I looked for a campground. And it brought up like 3 or 4 different campgrounds in Price, and that's what we were heading for. And then it really started smelling bad. And so we pulled into another gravel way park. I don't know what they call those things. Turnout. Thank you. Turnout. And Gary's like, I don't think we're going to make it. How far is it? And I said, it's just a couple miles or a few miles. We could make it. Well, then I enlarged. Here's a tip for you. I enlarged the map so that Gary could see where we were going. And another RV park popped up that was not included in the search. It didn't come up in our search for campgrounds. And so it was after hours. I thought, nobody's going to answer. I'll try it anyway. I called, and she answered. Her name was Michelle. She said, we're like 300 yards away from you. And downhill. She went out by the end of her driveway of the RV park, and we coasted down there and got in and got parked, and she was wonderful. And it's Blue Cut RV Park, and it's a little mom and pop art campground that had been around since the 60s, and this is their daughter who is running it for her parents, and just the sweetest little place.
Worked out perfect for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she gave us the name of their family mechanic in Price. Gary called them the next morning. They said, bring it in. Gary coasted into town, into Price, and the name of the place was Tire King, right?
Yeah.
Tire King Auto Repair. And they were able to get the part within a day and fixed it the next day so that we could get on the road again. Once again, God puts us in the right place at the right time with the right people. Just to be on the safe side, Gary decided it'd be a good idea to get the tires checked.
Just wanted to make sure that they weren't damaged by the heat from the bearings and brakes when they kind of overheated and got wrecked.
Yeah. And it turned out 2 of the tires needed to be replaced. The 2 that we got in Texas in January?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We got 2 new tires in January, and then now we have 2 more new tires. So, and then they switched things around. They put the newest ones on the back, and they put the not as new ones in the front. And so it's all balanced out, all good. And we are rolling.
We're back on the road. Yeah.
Bye-bye, Utah. So what adventures are lying ahead? Well, you're just going to have to subscribe to find out. Hit that subscribe button down below. Like our video if you did. Give it a big thumbs up. Next to the subscribe button, a little bell's going to pop up. Ring the bell and you'll be notified every time new videos come up. Check out our Facebook page, Roads of Faith, for extra features. Leave a comment. Share our videos. We love having you ride along with us and travel with us. And until next time, God bless.